Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Roundtable Discussion. I'll be your host and moderator, Michael Barclift, and I'd like to introduce you to my panelists. Starting to my right, ladies first.
Meka, nice to meet everyone. Thanks for coming. I am a FemC mentor and overall just everything, a jack of all trades. Check out my website at soulrebelnation.com.
Thank you for joining the show again. Last time you were on, we got great response, so we had to have you back for an encore, something that she's used to from her stage appearances. And to my far right, my partner,
Randy Brown, songwriter, entrepreneur. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. For everyone joining in, welcome. Hopefully we'll have something nutritious for your mind today.
Now, one of the things about Roundtable is that we want to promote unity. We want to promote good dialogue and a good exchange of information and ideas, even when you disagree with people. One of the most divisive issues in any community, and especially in ours, is when two people have a child together and then they break up. There's so many things that go into child rearing when you have to co-parent with the person that used to be your lover, but no longer is. One of the most divisive areas is money. Money can be an issue even when couples remain together. But when they don't remain together, there's the Child Support Enforcement Agency, the government agency that comes in and will attempt, in their words, to manage the funds so that the children are taken care of financially. But I think most reasonable people can agree that the system is not perfect. And so there's loopholes and there's sometimes abuse, and sometimes things are done out of spite and out of emotion that hurt the healthy well-being of the child overall, because it turns parents against each other. Now, Mr. Brown, I know from experience and from knowing you for a long time that you've had to deal with some of these issues personally. I myself have had to deal with it personally. We have some callers that are on the line that are going to call in and chime in with their opinions of things that they have had to deal with. But if we could start with you, would you tell the people, you don't have to get too personal, but you could tell,
I'm gonna spill all of it.
you could tell the people a little bit about what you're going through as a man and a single father, and then, if you care to, discuss your opinion of that new Delaware proposal, which I haven't told the people what it is yet, but you can explain it to them if you like.
This is gonna always be a touchy topic. We talk about money. The kids need to be supported. Me personally, I have no problem supporting. I have two, a 11-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old son. I've always taken care of my kids from day one. But, personally, my situation was the trust factor. Even though I was a good father, and it was a history that financially and physically and mentally and spiritually, all of that was taken care of, it was the trust factor of maybe one day he may not be the same person. You see it every day. You see fathers that were there, mothers that were there, and for whatever reason out the blue, something happens and they're not there in the same frequency, in the same level in which they were first when they were together. So things happen, but personally speaking, man, it's a lack of trust, that I noticed because of other things that have went on in other people's relationships. And my kid's mom saw that, and she said, well, look, in order to kind of ensure that the money always stays there, I'm going to put him in the system. But some fathers are going to do that regardless. You don't really have to involve the system. I just feel that. It just complicates things because it's going to create more static between the mom, because the man, all his intentions is to take care. He wants to be a father. But when you include the state, when you include the system, they have a sort of, in my opinion, a biased opinion on fathers. So automatically, when a mom goes and puts a father through the system, automatically the judges, the lawyers or whatever, court appointed, the guardian and lighters, they always look at the fathers as, you know what I mean? They give, what did he do? He's not taking care of his kid.
What's the worst part about being in that system?
They have control. The system has control. You really don't have any say-so. Now you have, if it's the mom or the father, now you have the ultimate penalty of jail time. You know what I mean? Your license taken away. I mean, all sorts of, your job being in jeopardy. Because if you spend time in jail, then your job is not in jeopardy. But, you know, those things is what a person that's in the system has to always think about. Is that going to motivate them to keep taking care of their kid? Yeah. Some, yeah. Others, you know, they're going to do it regardless. You know what I'm saying? You ain't have to put them through the system. And for those who do not take care of their kids, I do think that they should have that over their heads. For those who do not take care of their kids.
Okay. And the Delaware proposal, could you explain to the people what it says?
Okay. Well, they're about to institute a card in which a portion of the child support will be placed on this card. And the moms are to use this card for strictly the necessities of the children. As far as school clothes, anything that's involved in school, they have to report their clothing size, if their clothing or shoe size changes. It just kind of gives them some accountability to their spending. So, you know, that's basically in a nutshell what this card is going to be used for. Eventually in the future, they want to see if they can put all the child support on this card. And it will be monitored. It's kind of like an EBT card.
Right. So certain products you cannot buy with the card.
That's right.
You can't buy alcohol. You can't buy
hair products,
makeup. You
makeup.
can't spend it on money to go to the club.
That's right.
Certain things you can't do with that card. All right, we're going to get your opinion on the card when we come back, but I want to bring Ms. Meka into the conversation. And so I'd like to hear from you, your overall view of, you know, the child support system and then the new proposal of this card.
Well, I can honestly say I don't have children, but I have a huge family. I have a lot of friends, I have a lot of cousins, and me personally, I agree. Like, I feel like there are men who do need to be accounted for when it comes to taking care of their children, because no matter what it is, they just don't want to do it. I do, however, feel like the system is definitely flawed, and being that I know a lot of people that are on child support, and that are on there for good reason, some of them, I still feel like there's too much left into the system's hand. Like he said, you know what I mean, once you go and fill out those papers, it's really no longer your decision. That person can get locked up, their job can be taken away or anything else. And half the time, these girls be putting these boys on child support because they don't want to be with them anymore. That's one of the things I didn't hear him say. And usually it's because of something that dumb. He got a new girlfriend, you know, like, or something like that. It might have something to do with the child as well. Like, oh, okay, he over there with her and her 4 kids and taking care of them, but he can't come over here and pick you up. And things of that nature. You know, like, I do feel like that's an issue. But I also feel like as people, as adults, who sat down and had these kids, you should be able to handle these type of things knowing that this child has to be taken care of regardless. Take your feelings and your emotion out of the picture and think about the child. I do feel like the Delaware thing that they're trying to do, I feel like that's a bit much. But at the same time, these guys are seeing their baby mamas go out there and buy weave and go to the club and do things of that nature with their money. So, in some instances, maybe some of these females do need that card. But I also know women who, you know, that they don't depend on this check, but they need it because they work jobs and they're 24-hour, you know, in care of these children, and the kids do need certain necessities. But however, I don't feel like a debit card, like an EBT card, I just don't like the system. Anything with the system to me is just, come on, a court-appointed lawyer, any of that stuff is just, it's really just another way to keep us in slavery. I mean, we all know the jail system.